I want to talk to you about a month-long internet course that I'll be teaching in November called Taking the One Seat: Spiritual Autonomy and the Soul's Discovery of Meaning. It's a course that I've really looked forward to teaching, because what we really want to focus on in this course is kind of two things. Number one, everybody has their deepest experience of being, or their deepest insight. It could be spiritual awakening itself. It could be just the deepest thing you know, the deepest thing that you've experienced internally. We all have whatever that is. And part of this course is going to be focused on is bringing that into manifestation, bringing that into life. One of the most common questions I get from people is that they've had some sort of profound, meaningful experience, often a spiritual experience, sometimes an experience of awakening. And then they start to relate to it in a certain sense of, well, how do I always be in this state? How do I deepen this state? How do I not lose the state? And one of the things we're going to explore in this course is when we relate to our deepest experiences only through the lens of experiences, and we try to hold on to that experience or maintain or recreate that experience, we're really doing something that really doesn't serve us particularly well. There's a different way, a whole different paradigm to go about how to address our deepest and most profound and meaningful experiences of being. And one of the ways that we most deeply and effectively live in those deeper states of being is we have to be able to translate them into our relative experience. And what that means is we're translating revelation or deep spiritual experience into the way we function in the relative world. And during this course, one of the things I'm going to look at is exactly how do we do that? What does it mean to translate a deep experience of awakening into something that you can work with in your day-to-day life? And one of the ways that we'll look into doing this is through seeing that our deepest experiences of being often open us to a deep value. Those values that we might say, not necessarily the values that we've been taught or society has told us that we should aspire to, but those values that are inherent within us, that are certainly inherent within the awakened view. What we're going to look at is, what's your deepest and most meaningful value? Is it truth? Is it love? Is it understanding? Is it peace? But once we can kind of connect with our deepest and most profound value, then we have a way through which our deep and profound experience of being can be translated into our everyday life. And that's something that we're going to really look into this course very, very deeply, not only through my lectures, but also through kind of exercises or practices that you can do each week, as well as by kind of small and brief writing assignments where I'll actually have you look into a question and write sometimes as little as a few sentences, maybe as much as a paragraph, but nothing more than that, to kind of dig deep within you and bring out those, number one, to bring out your deepest experience of being so that you really get clear on what that is, and what kind of value can that manifest in your life, and how you go about manifesting that value, the challenge of doing so, and also the great potential that it opens up within a human being. Also during this course, there will be a theme that will kind of weave its way throughout all that we do, will be the whole issue of meaning. One of the things in modern life that I think most people seem to struggle with is a lack of meaning, a lack of feeling that life has a transcendent meaning, which means a sense of meaning that transcends just strictly what we do, whether it's our jobs or our family or what our successes, our defeats, what we've acquired. One of the things about modern life is so much of it is sort of devoid of meaning. the structures that used to be embedded within society, used to be embedded within religion, that you would often just be born into a way of looking at life that would give you a certain meaning in your life, where you'd feel it would give you a sense of significance. Almost all of that is gone in modern life. What it's left us with is being sort of lost and cut adrift of the experience of deep meaning in life. Of course, I'm talking about a sense of meaning and purpose that's authentic. That's not just something we create with a new belief structure, but that's something that's actually real and feels authentic, you know? The experience of meaning is really the experience that the act of living, to exist, to be, feels rich and significant, and that it has direction, that you have a sense of what you're doing here, and why you're here, what you're here for, and a kind of directionality in your life. And opening this whole mystery of meaning is really a part of what this course is all about, and it's certainly a deep aspect of what it is to find our spiritual autonomy. Spiritual autonomy is something that weaves itself throughout this course as well, which is why I put it in the title. Autonomous individual, a spiritually autonomous individual, is someone who can stand on their own 2 feet, or as it says in the title of this course, it's the act of taking the one seat of your life, your place in your life. And spiritually, it means to take the seat in your life in such a way that your life itself, the way you move and act and relate in time and space, is a manifestation of the deepest things you've experienced, of the deepest and most meaningful things that you know, of those values that you hold as most significant and most important in your life. And it takes a deep degree of autonomy really to stand on your own 2 feet, in your own 2 shoes, because we've all been tremendously conditioned by the world, by our upbringing, by our society. And so to find an autonomy is to be able to step outside of those confining boundaries and discover what's authentically our own, a life that sort of embraces the paradox of the spiritual life, which is based in the revelation of unity and oneness, and also, paradoxically, at the same time, shows the great value of each of our individual lives. And so this is the paradox of realization, unity and individuality lived out completely and fully. And this is really what I want to explore in this life, and I want to engage you in a kind of inquiry and also a challenge, because we're all at our best, I think, when we are being challenged to look very, very deeply into ourselves and our own lives and what gives our lives a sense of significance and meaning, and a way to bring our deepest experience of being into our relative everyday lives, into the whole world of relationship. So I hope that you'll feel inspired or called to join with me for this course, Taking the One Seat, Spiritual Autonomy and the Soul's Discovery of Meaning.